Time for part 7 of FIKA with ArcticEric. And we're going to talk a little bit about what?
Well, I think we'll talk about the greatest miracle.
Seems interesting.
There's a lot of focus these days on signs, and when I think about signs, I just hope that they don't make me wonder. I'm convinced that God is doing marvelous things around the world. I know that He is. I've been graced to be able to travel. But I never stop being amazed at the greatest miracle of all, a life that is being continually transformed as Christ Himself is being formed on the inside of someone who is trusting Him and trusting Him alone for eternity. You know, we need to measure things with eternity as our measuring stick. We often tend to measure everything in the now, and we don't think so much about the future. But God desires that we have eternity in the background while we focus on Christ right now. What is it right now that Christ wants to do to bear fruit by His Spirit in your life and my life? What parts of my character, my morals, my ethics, my personality, what does He want to work on right now by His totally transforming power? You know, it's so easy to get our eyes on the externals. And I'll tell you, I've seen God do marvelous healing miracles. I've seen marriages radically saved. I've experienced much, but nothing of that is carried into eternity. That's all here and now. In heaven, you get a new body. In heaven, you're not married anymore. Things change when you come to heaven. But what doesn't change is the need to be transformed continually into the image of the dear Son. Or better said, that Christ Himself is, as Paul said, being formed in us. A new species, a new person, a new race, a new nation, a new people, a city that's coming down from heaven. The New Jerusalem, a city, of course, represents people, and that's us. So let us not be drawn aside by all the wonderful things that Christ does in addition to the greatest miracle of all, being saved, being born again, repenting, and changing our mind and allowing ourselves to turn our faces back to God, and in childlike simplicity cling to Him only, and knowing that He'll never let us go, and that as long as we allow Him to work in our lives, as long as we say, let your will be done, transform me, He will do it. That is the greatest miracle of all. Let His transforming, life-changing power work in you by grace alone, through faith alone. Today, you'll experience freedom. FIKA. Freedom in Christ always. Be blessed.